Payne. I'm a blogger, story maker if you want, and I'm here to talk a little bit about licensing, which isn't really my thing, but in the field that I work, where I'm sharing images, text, geographic data, multimedia, there's a lot of content that I kind of appear to throw around willy-nilly. And there's a lot of interesting discussions around who owns that quite a lot of the time on certain platforms. How do I maintain control over my IP? Do I even care about my IP? And when it comes to intellectual property, is that what I'm monetizing? So we're no doubt going to touch upon business models as well. It's interesting to see the evolution of the mind of the photographer as external technologies keep coming in and disrupting how the photographer works, how they share ideas, how they collaborate, because they never used to collaborate. It was always, I need to protect my clients and the way that I do things, because I don't want another photographer coming along and taking either of them, my secrets or my clients. We're seeing collaboration become a big part of the conversation now. The bypassing in some ways of a lot of the old spaces and places, the old gatekeepers, a lot of self-publishing still being kind of poo-pooed when you can be attached to a huge recognized label or name. Why wouldn't you want to be? Well, maybe it's more about the individual nowadays, the individual working alone, the individual working in a collaboration with others. So for me, I'm fascinated by all of this and the kind of steady journey into perpetual chaos. Let's face it, when it comes to the disruption that's happening right now, it's never gonna change this slowly. This is a really fascinating time when it comes to the disruptions that are also happening in the places and spaces that we communicate online. And there is an equal voice for introverts and extroverts. It's just, how do we nurture and amplify those people who are just as much happy to work alone and to have moments of genius as those who are more comfortable working in a group where they can bounce off individual strengths. There was a study done not so long ago, I can't quote the origins of it, but some of the biggest and greatest mind-blowing innovations that have occurred have come from introverts. The power of collaboration and the power of the networks that we have now may be able to accelerate voices from all kinds of people coming into the same space, hopefully without any kind of hierarchy kicking in where I'm going to lead this meeting, what's your idea? We don't need any of that. We just need places to expand, places to create comfortably. Red Eye's Photographers Network every year seems to kind of outdo itself when it comes to a symposium like this, and I'll be leaving with a kind of comfortable feeling of it's going to be okay for those that are actually willing to experiment and evolve. And I do hear an awful lot of stories from photographers who are, it's too hard for me to make a living, it's too hard for me to make a living. I'm taking away the fact that more and more people are thinking that the photography is more important than the money. The fact that they want to do photography because they love doing photography. And if they can metamorphosize the act of taking pictures and telling stories into something that earns them money, fantastic. If they have to do something along the lines of teaching and sharing their knowledge about how they take photographs so that they can make money, fantastic. Maybe they should stop being hung up on calling themselves photographers, and I'm seeing that for this year for the first time, people thinking that they can reinvent themselves and still be passionate about photography.